Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Usually I would give you a book review and some unboxings, but I'm behind on the unboxing, so let's just do a couple of those. I've got the latest from Brandon Sanderson's secret projects from 2022, the Kickstarter for this year. So this is the final book from those projects, and I've got the most recent FairyLoot. So let's open two boxes. I opened the Brandon Sanderson one already. See what was in it. So the Kickstarter was his 4 books and then 8 additional boxes. So basically we've gotten 1 box every month for 2023. The first book was Tress of... I don't remember. Like, the books are coming out regularly, but the ones in the boxes are special editions, signed. They've got color illustrations. They're beautiful. And then the other boxes have been curated items around some of his other characters and worlds that Brandon Sanderson has created. I was not a big Sanderson reader. I actually had never read a Brandon Sanderson book when the Kickstarter was announced. But I'm a sucker for a book box and exclusive book-related merch, so I ordered the biggest, the biggest subscription anyways, and then I started reading his books. So I'm glad that I did that because I have really enjoyed his writing and getting to know the Cosmere. All right, so this book is the last of the 4. The boxes have all basically looked like this on the outside, and have had a quote from one of his characters. I'm going to read this one. It's long, but I love it. I once ate a live frog, you know. Well, it was mostly like a frog, had an extra leg or two, and was violet in color, but basically the same thing. Slimy, amphibious, etc. Perfectly nauseating in every regard. It wiggled as it went down. When I reflect upon my illustrious life, that moment inevitably surfaces as the nadir of my experiences so far. No, I realize that as terrible, revolting, and miserable as that day was for me, at least I wasn't the frog. That's a quote from Hoyd, and from Brandon it says, "Thank you. I have the best fans in the world. You've proven that to me time and time again. You are awesome, you are amazing, and you have incredible taste in books." Well, Mr. Sanderson, thank you for some awesome storytelling, characters, and exclusive merch for 2023. All right, so here's the book. I haven't even taken it out of the plastic yet. It is called The Sunlit Man, and I'm going to go ahead and open it. This one is red. I believe the last, like, very red, right? The last one was green, blue, and I think Tress was a teal kind of color. They look awesome sitting on the shelf, as you might expect, but that shelf for me is upstairs, so you can't see it right now. Some of the items we've gotten, I got a really cool travel toiletry case that I used just recently. There's a pair of metal bookmarks that have the 2 main characters from the Mistborn series on them with a metal backdrop of the city, which was really cool. There's a set of coasters that came last month. There's been character pins, enamel pins in every single box. So this one is Kaladin, which you can't see very well because of the plastic. I've really loved everything that's come in. I don't know or understand how all of them relate to all of the stories because I am not all into the Cosmere in that way. There's also a plastic bookmark related to this story. And a sticker of the Sunlit Man. Here's the book on the front. The spine and the back. the end pages. Every one of these has been so beautiful. Like, I can't even tell you. Oh, I love the ship on that. You probably didn't get to see that. Isn't that sad for you that you don't have these books? The first one I did use the special edition as my reader copy for Tress. And I did pretty good at not getting anything on it, not spilling it. Usually when I have a special edition, I just check the book out to read from the library. And I decided that that was, you know, a little bit silly, but also I'll probably keep doing it. I love the feel of it. I love the whole thing. I love the whole thing. I'll be honest with you. The full subscription to the Kickstarter was super expensive. So I'll also acknowledge in this moment the privilege and amazingness that is being able to afford things that I don't need in this time in my life. So now I'll open the FairyLoot. I didn't bring my box cutter down here. So I'm trying to use this letter opener that is not working very well to cut through this tape. Here's the letter opener, by the way, which I believe also came from a FairyLoot box, and I love it. It sits on the shelf right here. Beans. So this is the September FairyLoot. Invisible Truths is the theme. So first thing is a set of travel bottles. The travel bottle designs are inspired by Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros and features all 4 quadrants. Which one would you choose? I haven't read Fourth Wing, and honestly, I'm not planning to read it anytime soon. I could read it in the future. I've got a couple of fantasy/dragon books that I am more likely to read first than that one. But here's the first bottle. I don't know if you can see it since it's clear. What could I put behind there? This doesn't help, does it? It says Healer's Quadrant. Okay, Healer's Quadrant, Infantry Quadrant, Rider's Quadrant, Scribe Quadrant. Based on those words, I would probably choose Scribe or Healers, but I would never choose a quadrant in a fantasy book to visit without knowing more about that world. Never, ever, ever. Somewhere in this box of beans is some metal, foiled bookmarks inspired by Red Rising. I stopped reading that series, I think 3 books in, not because I didn't love it, but because I have poor follow through. I actually really liked the books that I read and do have some loose intention of going back and reading the rest of them. A set of 4 stunning foiled bookmarks inspired by the Red Rising series by Pierce Brown features Darrow, Mustang, Severo, and Victra. Then we have an enamel pin. Spot a fellow fan of the Raven Cycle series by Maggie Stiefvater with help of this gorgeous pin. I am a giant Maggie Stiefvater fan, and I love the Raven series. Here is the pin. Ooh, that is a good focus for once in my whole life. For once in my life, the camera did focus. Okay. Ooh, and now we have a reading light. That is so practical. I love it. One more chapter reading light. Oh, it looks like an impractical one, though. Oh, no. Okay. It looks like maybe you put the batteries in and then you put it over the top of the book like this. Is that what you do? Looks like I need batteries first to find out. A triple X. I think I have one of those upstairs. All right. I love a reading light. I don't know what happens to my reading lights. I think my reading lights and my headphones run off together to start a family. And then I believe the last item before we get to the book is this blanket, Astravars. That is from A Darker Shade of Magic. Another of my favorite series. Probably considered YA, but it really feels more new adult to me, but I can't remember how old the main character is. Maybe they're only 16. I love the Four Londons thing. It's upside down. Yes. You see it? I'm going to assume you can see it. I can't see it from where you're sitting. Okay, so then, oh, duh, the tarot cards. Every box comes with tarot cards. 2. That's beautiful. The Ace of Moons and the Two of Moons. These are giving me Addie LaRue vibes. But let's see what it says they're supposed to be. Tarot cards of the month. A set. The tarot card set features Addie as the Ace of Moons and Luke as the Two of Moons card. The characters are from The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab and were illustrated by the amazing Rs28. Rs28 is an amazing illustrator. They are not wrong about that. Okay, let me pick the beans up. Okay, here's the reveal, and I've got shit all over me. Maybe I already had shit all over me. Did I? I don't know. I don't know, but let's look at it together. See which side is the front. Pull all the crap out of it. Next month's is Enchanted Forest. I'm gonna love everything in that one. Let's see. Okay. If I Have to Be Haunted by Miranda Sun. Your first love will always haunt you. Here's the front, the spine, the back, which says, I'll haunt you for the rest of your life. You wouldn't dare try me. And the edges. Stop it. Those are so pretty. Black on the ends. Whew, that is so gorgeous. I can barely stand it. Let's check our end pages. They are the same with butterflies. The back's probably the same. Yep. I'm checking the pronouns for the author. She. Okay. And look at the Naked book. Sometimes the Naked book is even better than the Dust Jacket. Probably most of the time, huh? It depends, because this is that sort of like glossy. But the alternative Dust Jacket on the inside, I would never show this one. It's really pretty and it's super lame. It's giving me Divine Rivals, which I also didn't love that either, so I'll be honest. I'm not a rep of any of these things, so I can be honest and tell you that some of that stuff is lame. Some of these things are lame. Not that this isn't also, and doesn't border on a little bit lame, but in a cute way, you know? Because he's clearly a ghost. And look at, aw. And it's going to be YA, because this is the YA box, which means it's not going to be nearly spicy enough for this cutesy wootsy crap. But let's read it and see if it seems appealing. And drop whether or not this summary makes you want to read this book. Ready? Kara is just trying to stay on top of all her classes, excel at her extracurriculars, and prepare for college, which means not speaking to the dead, an ability she inherited from her grandmother. Ghosts are trouble, and Kara doesn't need to add their problems to her own. But then she stumbles upon the body of Zach, the super popular but very newly dead high school golden boy, in the woods, and guess what? He wants her to resurrect him. Cue trouble. Miranda Sun's debut touches on the power and conflicts of mother-daughter love, first romance, and finding your place in the world while honoring your culture. Full of heart, humor, and thrills, If I Have to Be Haunted will put a spell on you. I believe that sometimes dead is better. Do not resurrect dead people. That's all I'm saying. Rule of thumb, okay? All right. This might have been a first. 2 boxes. No review. Catch you on the next one.